Forgotten Sunrise, Chapter 27, Castle. Sunset and Sprout had spent an hour carefully removing each picture frame that made up Flash's family tree. They carefully wrapped them up for transport, before moving them out into the truck, where they were neatly stacked in one of the lower compartments. Sunset made a mental note to take a closer look at the set of pony armor that was on display at the Maritime Bay Museum the next time she was in town, now that she knew it had come from either him or one of his descendants. Being here, exploring these abandoned buildings, and very soon going through ancient books gave Sunset a faint feeling of déjà vu, and she couldn't quite put her hoof on why. Once their first load was secure, Sprout did a quick check of the fuel levels and temperatures. He tugged his balaclava back on and exited the vehicle with Sunset, just in time to see Sunny come down the frozen steps of the library they had parked in front of. She was identifiable by her mane and tail flowing out from her winter clothing.
"We just loaded up a few pictures of a family of royal guards,"
Sprout told her.
"We might want to see if there are any genealogical records in that library." "If there are any, we'll come across them eventually. We've got nearly all the empty crates inside on the main floor, and Zip and Pip are ready to start sorting and loading up. I'm heading back to the castle, so who wants to come with me, and who wants to go help the Pegasus sisters?" "I suppose I can take another trip down memory lane. I'll go with you to the castle,"
Sunset answered, and Sunny nodded before turning to Sprout.
"Is the trailer temperature set for when they start loading crates up?"
she asked the stallion. Sprout shook his head.
"No need to waste fuel yet. The thermostat is set for the ambient temperature, but the cooling unit isn't on. And doesn't have to be until we get back down to the warmer climate." "Good point. Well, don't you three work too hard. Come on, Sunset,"
Sunny said, before turning to head down the main avenue towards the towering, frozen structure looming ahead.
"We need music for any future trips up here. This silence is so unnerving,"
the unicorn commented as she walked next to Sunny. Her hooves crunched on the snow as they retraced the tracks to underneath the 4 archways.
"I'm certain it's nothing natural. For this storm to be centered around the city, unmoving for who knows how long, Equestria was saved up here. But they couldn't save this place,"
Sunny commented.
"Well, at least every pony got out. Well, almost every pony."
Sunset mused as they came up to the door in the back left arch that Sunny and Izzy had dug out. They had closed it on the way out, and Sunny slid down into the small trench and gave it a few test pulls, and found that it had refrozen.
"Well, Sunset, if you wouldn't mind,"
Sunny told her friend, stepping aside.
"We've already yanked this door open once. Don't want to take the whole thing off the hinges by doing it too many times."
Sunset smirked, and her horn lit up as she fired off a wide heat beam at the door. When Sunny and Izzy were here, they might as well have opened a slab of ice. But as Sunset's spell began to melt away the buildup, the Earthmare saw that the door was intricately and expertly engraved crystal. Sunny stepped forward and saw that the door now pulled open much easier, and Sunset followed her in. Almost immediately, there was a set of stairs that spiraled to the right and rapidly ascended up the interior of the arch. After several looping rotations, they came to another door that had been left open. The pair of ponies stepped out of the corridor, into the Crystal Heart Chamber.
"You said you've been here before?"
Sunny asked, as they made their way around the central pedestal to the adjacent door, which led to more steps.
"Once. The mare had been in Canterlot when I jumped through the portal the first time, so I was a bit surprised to realize that I came back to a location that didn't exist when I had left. But the magic isn't that complicated to track, especially if you know what you're looking for. And I did. Princess Twilight's crown. I waited until I was sure patrols would be at a minimum, and it honestly would have been a clean getaway if I had been more careful with my footing. Princess Twilight gave chase, and it set me on the path I'm on now. Wherever it leads."
The doors led to another set of stairs, climbing to the 3rd and 4th floors.
"Princess Flurryheart's quarters were here on the 4th floor. I found a letter she'd left under a sheet of glass. I don't think she intended for the storm to last as long as it did. I think she was hoping her citizens were going to be able to come back home one day,"
Sunny told Sunset.
"I think they left in a hurry, with everything that got left behind. It makes sense that they made all the room for ponies and food."
The unicorn replied.
There should be another smaller library here in the castle that I wanted to start going through. It's not nearly as big as the main one, but I'd still like to not miss anything.
Sunny said. They came to a large window, iced over like everything else close to the exterior had been, and Sunset once again applied her heat beam for a few moments. Gently, she pushed them open. The view was a wide open field, frozen in snow. She made the educated guess of it being the castle's athletic field. She remembered Twilight writing to her about the Equestria Games. She envisioned ponies running, throwing, practicing their various athletic pursuits while Shining Armor and Cadence looked on.
Sunset?
Sunny asked, seeing that the unicorn had become lost in thought again.
Sorry. It just feels eerie. The first time the Empire vanished, it was just that. Vanished. Frozen in time. Not like this, not frozen in ice. I don't know if it's been another 1,000 years, but I wonder if we'll ever figure out what the storm is, and if there's any way to stop it. If there is a way to once again save and restore the Crystal Empire.
Sunny came up and put a hoof around her.
And if not, that's what we're here for. To uncover, restore, and preserve what's been forgotten.
Could you imagine staying in that freezing cold temperature for one night? That ought to be a fun challenge. Anywho, let's get on to our warm donators. Top donators are 630, BadassWaffle, Onlyonething, Ceru, Orion, IronSky, and Jessie Smith. Darkside, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel, Skies, Austin, Rolan, Stu, Hex, Sword Brother, Mordred, Omicron, Lyrae, Runeslife, 9852, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Ridesell, Shadow Moon, Luigi 88, Chancer Crust, Big Smoke 369, Bobcat, JJF, Murder Princess, and many more fantastic people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.